Hello everybody. So I've been waiting probably just a little over 6 weeks to be able to make this video, and what I wanted to make this video about finally came in yesterday when I was in the studio doing the last of my vocals for the debut record for Dead at Dawn, and I'm extremely excited to show you guys what I got. However, I just wanted to do a brief overview really quick of one of the most important knives in history. And that's not just an opinion, that's just fact because of how it shaped the knife world starting in 1964 and abroad. And that is the Buck 110. The Buck 110 is a classic folding hunting pattern with a 3 3/4 inch blade, ebony wood handles, a brass bolster, and rivets and pins holding the entire make together. And it's got a lockback design with a very strong spring right here that keeps the blade locked in place. And because they make so many of them, there is differing qualities a lot of the time with knives that come out. This one I bought online, so I wasn't able to see it the day that I got it. I got one that was built pretty much perfectly. There's zero blade play back and forth to the side. Completely solid. Like, open effectively, it is a fixed blade. So I really love this classic Buck 110 that I have. I don't really carry it in the sheath because I don't really carry sheaths on my belt line, so I'll just pop this in my chest pocket on my overalls or just like the side pocket of my jeans. But fits perfectly in a leather sheath. That this one is made in Mexico, and it comes with the knife when you buy it. The first Buck 110 I ever purchased myself was actually this guy right here. It was the Buck 110 Hunter Sport. I've had it for a few years now. Exact same knife, exact same design, only instead it's got an aluminum frame, and instead of ebony wood handles, it's got micarta, which, because it's not brass or ebony wood, the knife is significantly lighter. And then you got a thumb stud right here, really dramatic clip point, just like the other one. And this is going to be S30V steel, which is a super steel made of powder that's compressed at very high pressures. So this is S30V steel, and the traditional Buck 110 is going to be in 420 high carbon. So that's a brief rundown of what the Buck 110 is. It was the knife that pretty much carried Buck knives all the way through the second half of the 20th century. But I'm here to talk about a very special Buck 110, the very first knife I have ever made in Buck's custom shop. And it has turned out absolutely perfect. But before I get to it, I wanted to show you one more thing, and that is this guy right here. This is the knife that came with the knife that I custom ordered. This is the Buck 366, and I believe it's called the Bantam 3. Or no, Rival 3. Sorry, it's the Rival 3. So this is the Buck 366 Rival 3. And I found this really interesting because dimensions-wise, handle and blade, this is the exact same size as a Buck 110. Only it's a little bit on the cheaper side. Like, not cheap as in not good. It's just, you can definitely tell the materials are a little bit more inexpensive than what they normally use for something like a Buck 110 with these plastic, might be injection molded handles. I couldn't really tell you for sure. This is also a collaboration with Mossy Oak, the company that does all of the hunting and outdoor gear. So I got this for free because when I ordered the knife that I got from the Buck Custom Shop, they were doing a deal where you got one of these free if you spent a certain amount of money. So I was able to get this as well. I don't know if this was like a display model or if it was like a used knife that they just repackaged and gave to me, but from here, just under the halfway point of the blade, all the way down to the handle is very dull. But the tip through the belly to about the midway point is extremely sharp. So I think someone definitely used the bottom half of this blade, but this is 420 high carbon, so softer steel, very stainless, so you don't really have to worry about it rusting all that much. I definitely need more practice with sharpening. I need to get a lot better with sharpening and stropping my knives. So this guy's going to probably end up being a beater so I can practice sharpening with it, but pretty excited to get it. Also, one more thing. Instead of being a lock back design, if you look right there, This is what's called a mid-lock. So not as strong as a lockback design, but it's still pretty strong, like pushing in on it. And the pocket clip is only in tip down orientation. There's no option to switch it to this side. Or honestly, this is the only place for the pocket clip, it looks like. Normally modern knives have places where you can mount it either direction or on either side. This one is going to be just this orientation right here. So if you're a lefty, I'm sorry, this knife definitely isn't for you. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But that is not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is probably, I don't know if it'll probably be one of my favorite knives for many years to come. But first things first, we're going to go with the outer appearance, and that is, I got a brown sheath instead of a black sheath. So this is the standard like free sheath that you get when you order a buck 110, buck 112, any of the heritage knives that don't have a pocket clip or a place to hold it. So this is a distressed leather sheath made with tan leather. And instead of being like these black sheaths that are made in Mexico, this sheath is actually made in the USA. And it's a little bit softer, a little bit more flimsy, but you can definitely tell it's still strong and it's still quality. Loving this so far, but what's really special is what's inside. So to commemorate my wedding, I decided I wanted to go to Buck's custom shop and custom build a buck 110 to my specifications. And this is what I came up with. Shout out to Gideon's Tactical, a channel that I follow on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. Gideon's Tactical actually made this exact same knife and published a video on it, I want to say like less than a week ago. And I ordered the exact same knife to the exact same specifications probably about 6 weeks ago. So I thought that was hilarious. But let's get into what this knife is. Like I said, obviously it's a buck 110. One of the first things you're going to notice is there is no pins in this buck 110. So the original buck 110 comes with pins in the handle to help hold the handle together. This has no pins because I wanted to minimalize getting hot spots in every aspect that I could. Instead of being ebony wood, we have burlap micarta as the handle material, and we still have brass bolsters, but instead of being a mirror polish like these, it's not a good mirror polish because my hands have been all over it because I don't really polish the brass on that knife. But instead of having a mirror polish like a normal buck 110, this has a brushed polish. So if brushed polish, I think that's the right way to put it. But it's a brushed brass instead of being like reflective and polished. So with the micarta, it makes it just a tad bit lighter, not much because it's not a whole lot of material and the brass still weighs it down quite a bit. But that's the outside. And then when you open it, if you look close, I don't know if I'll be able to focus it in, but right there on the blade, it says custom knife shop. And then right down here, it is MagnaCut steel. My first MagnaCut knife I have ever owned, and I'm glad it's this one. I did the old shave my arm sharpness test, and this is easily one of the sharpest knives that I have ever gotten brand new. And shout out to Buck's team. Normally when you buy a brand new knife from them, because they're like pumping out so many, they do their best to clean the knives, but you've still got a lot of like machining grit and stuff, like either in the pivot or inside the body of the knife, or even like on the spring that you can see when you like push the spring down. This knife came perfectly clean. Like normally I have to do like a little wipe down with like some solution and like oil it a little bit. No, this knife came perfectly ready out of the box, and it's great. And also the burlap micarta, it looks really rough. It's really smooth on the sides, but then if you go to the back right here, it's got a little bit of this like rigid texture, and it feels really, really good in the hand. So you've got like, it's completely soft against your fingers, but the part that hits the inside of your palm has a little bit of grip there, so it just kind of locks the knife in place. So I am extremely, extremely proud of this knife. And one of the crazier aspects of ordering this knife that just happens to be coincidence is this knife is actually pretty old. not ancient, but like it's pretty old. So for a brand new knife, the thing about buck knives, I don't think I talked about this in my last buck knife video. You can look at the blade, and right next to the model number on the blade is a little symbol. Sorry, my camera isn't good enough to like show you what I'm talking about, but there's a little symbol right next to the number of the buck knife. And that symbol, you can go on their website or you can just like Google it. It'll tell you the year that this knife was made. And the year that this knife was made was 2018. So this has been just chilling in their shop for at least 7 years. But the crazy thing is, I met my wife and we started dating in 2018. And then we got married in 2025. So I now have a buck knife for both the year that we met and the year that we got married. And I think it's fitting that this knife is very much a beater and a work in progress, and this thing is polished beyond belief and made of better materials and is just overall stronger. Sorry if that was cheesy, but that is exactly where my mind went when I got both of these knives and I looked at the tang stamps. I was like, no way. So, although I just noticed something. The Buck Custom Shop knives do not come with, or at least the MagnaCut blade, does not come with a symbol to tell you what year it's made. But I mean, I did get a certificate of authenticity that comes with this, so that probably counts, but I was expecting to see that on the tang stamp. I'm not upset or anything. I'll always remember what year I got this knife because of its significance. So, but yeah, I'm extremely, extremely happy with how this knife turned out. I was pretty much speechless when I got it last night. Like, yesterday was a good day to begin with because I had finally like put the finishing touches on like recording a record that I've been working on for almost 3 years now. So getting to come home and open this was just the icing on the cake. But I'm extremely excited to see how MagnaCut compares to my S30V, my S35VN, my 420HC, all the different blade steels, because MagnaCut it's everything's subjective, but MagnaCut can be significantly better than most blade steels. For people that don't really understand blade steels, the best way I can describe it is it's a very stainless steel that behaves like a carbon blade, and carbon blades are a lot tougher than normal stainless steels. So you've got tougher components with a blade that'll still keep a really good edge, and it's very stainless. Those are the three aspects of most knives, and most knives only have two of those. So you've got edge retention, toughness, and stainlessness, essentially. And normally it's a pick two kind of situation, but with MagnaCut, you get the benefits of all three. And I think that one thing I've noticed about Buck is they're really starting to move away from making knives with S30V steel, which makes me sad because S30V is one of my favorite steels. It was the steel on my first Buck that I ever bought. Like, I love S30V. I wish they would make more of it, but they're focusing more, it looks like, on doing S35 and S45 VN in a lot of their higher end knives, which has more toughness than S30V, but it doesn't hold an edge longer than S30V. So, I mean, it makes sense. Like, with Buck, with what they're doing, they're really going for durability when it comes to having to skin animals and such. But you would also think that having a really fine edge would be extremely important in that instance as well. So, I don't know. I'm not a knife steel nerd. I couldn't tell you, like, all of the, like, reasons people use what they use, but I definitely know that of all the knives that I own, S30V definitely holds an edge the longest and gets, like, the angle of the blade is, like, has more to do with sharpness than what the metal is. But, like, most of my S30V blades are sharper than pretty much anything else that I own. So, can't wait to see how MagnaCut compares. But, all right. That's pretty much everything on this knife. If you want more information on Buck knives, you can get a brief rundown of like their introductory history on one of the other videos that I posted. Again, shout out to Gideon's Tactical for just so happening to make the exact same knife that I got. I can't wait to use it. So that's everything. Thank you for checking out these videos. Like I said, I really enjoy talking about knives. So thank you for checking out these videos. I don't know what I'm going to do for a knife video next, because this was just this was what I was waiting for so long. So I don't know, I'll think of something. But thank you for sharing in this with me, and have a good day.